So they'll be calling you a radical out in the street we used to meet. Been a tough year. As far as Kevin Blanch, the marine biologist in the high desert of Utah. You know, so let's read a bedtime story, kiddies. Let's call it New World Order when it's Old World Order. Up is down, we all live in a greenwashing machine. Give you a check to Greenpeace, Sierra Club, Friends of the Earth, the controlled opposition. Everybody's going to be on the winning team. The zenith of life is comfortability. So let's get back to the Florida catastrophe. And first off, it took CBS 60 minutes. Well over 3,000 days. Leslie Shaw, Lake Barrett, who I know, Lake Barrett. Well, almost 10 years to tell you what Kevin Blanch told you in 1 hour on March 11th, 12th, 2011. Play back the tape, Your Honor. The marine biologist in the high desert of Utah. Probably the most famous marine biologist, the most important one, maybe ever. Jacques Cousteau. Oh, I talked to his kid in Vienna. Oh, my God. Man, he got in an argument. You know, what a fucking clown. The Pacific Ocean has collapsed 95%, and before I get to Florida, I want to talk cherry blossoms. Yay, the earliest bloom in 1,200 years. Must be climate change. Oh, it's climate change because nuclear meltdowns. Oh, they're fucking hot. I'll tell you how hot they are. You go back to the Leslie Stahl freaking... They don't even tag it properly. Of course they don't. They want to shadow ban it. They hide it because the dumb ignorant sheep, they'll believe anything that gets shoved down their fucking... contemporized, wanted by Jetstream, to it by cable TV, Operation Foxconn News, the globalist oligarchy, Anderson, Vanderbilt, Cooper, the public be damned. You know about his grandpappy? Vanderbilt, the public be damned, killing people in the subways. I mean, Gloria, his father and brother, out the window. CIA, freaking, you know who he's, who, CNN Zucker. That's the premise. I mean, I like how Fox News versus CNN, we hate Trump. He's the guy that created Trump, Fox News. I mean, it's not... If you think that's fucking news, I'm a rainbow striped fucking unicorn Jerusalem. Pterodactyl. So, 1,200 years. You don't think... These meltdowns are so fucking hot. They've sent robot after robot after robot. Some of these robots can handle many, many thousands of degrees Fahrenheit. They melt. I mean, this is the hottest thing. Oh, hell of a way to boil a planet. My work is empirical evidence. I don't do opinion. That's the whole thing. That's why people flee from me, and now they've got... I'm so effective that the United States government, the CIA, which is the nuclear energy crime syndicate, that old world order. Remember Yalta by the Sea, the wars and wars, no more bloodlines, no more inherited wealth, no more monarchy. We are abstract from the Queen. Fucking Dana did a really great piece on the bloodlines of the last of the Mohicans, the French ex-PM, and him sneakily wanting to bring in the waste. It's all the old world order. So, the cherry blossoms, we'll get to the Florida nightmare, Portland cement. I'm an old plaster, So, that catastrophe, and they just lie. They just lie. The nuclear cartel, the corporate capturing of academia is pathetic. Oh, I lived it. Not, probably the most important PhD. And hey, who's going to peer review me? Those pathetic fuckers, they hand them out like toilet paper. So, the genre, the intensity, the radical. I understood. I got in an argument with a communications professor. I was an ex-communications professor. I says, I can say fuck. The Supreme Court has ruled that this is published. This is literature. That's what they ruled YouTube in the early days. That's the Supreme Court, the corrupt court, the hijack court. I don't have to abide by the airways, the Carlin words you can't say. I can say fuck all the want. It's published. It's fucking literature. I can say pretty well everything I want. It's literature copyright. I knew that, so we got an argument over the word fuck. I says, why are you so afraid of that fucking word? Most people, it's a sign of emotional intelligence, by the way. It's a fucking unarguable fact. I see fuck Austria is changing the name. Too many people, oh God, the American tourism idiots, fucking I got lots of stories about that. Spent a lot of time there fighting them in Vienna, the IEAE. So I says, well, I have to use this 10 rep. I'll prove to I can. I knew the algorithm, and I knew it was based on retention, not on view count. View count's a fraud. Subscription numbers are a fraud because that the average YouTube video is watched 13. Now, this is the old days before they completely got control, wanted by Jet Stream, and turned it into fucking cable TV. The CIA and the NSA fucking totally have 100% control. If they want this video to have 1,311,311 views, that's what it'll have. They want, what did I say yesterday? What this important video is going to get 311 views? I think it's sitting at 310 right now. You cattle me. They've got control in the algorithm. They didn't used to. They used to call it, YouTube used to call it the Great Equalizer. I was so effective using the word fuck and the intensity. I got an email from Google one time, and I don't have an AdSense account. I thought, I'm not going to let them stream. Don't need to be going on that, what they pulled on me when I was in the bone marrow transplant center. I don't eat, sleep, drink. I sleep with it. I was given too much to live 10 years ago. I have ML, de novo, non-Hodgkin. Think about that component. Went into the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. 3 of them. My grandkids, for their birthday, wanted to go to the Godzilla movie. I said, oh, let's go. And they're born this month. They were born in March 2011. They're Fukushima babies, right after. Both of them, they're a week apart. I says, any bets on how many innuendo references they have to nuclear? Oh, and them kids are all over. Oh, yeah, they're going to be all kinds of them. Right off the get, they're in a nuclear reactor in Florida, the apex species. Oh, God, what a pathetic bunch of creeps we are. So the intensity. They sent me an email and says, you're not in the top 1/10 of 1%. You are one of the top 10 YouTube sites in the world in retention. Think about that. So I'm competing with CNN, BBC, all these major fucking corporatist whoredom, Anderson Vanderbilt, who's in Fukushima. Him and Sanjay Gupta are at Fukushima. He's a fucking dumb-ass puppet. He's like, nuclear fallout, nuclear. And they have this Jim Walsh from MIT. Should we come back? Should we come back? They're talking nuclear disaster 1,000 fucking times. He comes home when the wind shifts back over. So I used to do a radio show inside Tokyo. That other professor I'm working with, they rounded him up, State Secret Act on Balco. I was the #1 news source in Japan on this, They come home. They're briefed. Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper has not mentioned the word Fukushima yet, and he mentioned the meltdowns at Fukushima, Japan, thousands of times when he's in it, not one time. Sanjay Gupta, MD. I come from a family of practicing neurosurgeons that took the oath. I'm like, that'll tie that into my plastering career. When I was young, I was a pre-college student I graduated Weber High School 698 in a class of 699 while I'm in a pre-college course in a BIS fucking program. Think about that. The fucking high school, what a fucking fraud that's turned out to be. Well, now college is the high school model. What a fraud that. It didn't used to be. Pass, fail, fucking midterm, final, fucking, the knowledge. My biology fucking, wow. What a fucking story. Who would ever believe they captured it? So they come home, the practicing neurosurgeon, Sanjay Gupta, MD, had his show on Saturday morning. I saw it on TV there, and I was watching it. This day there's a Freudian slip. Liz Taylor died. And he got a woman on there, and he made reference to the 11-year-old. We all know what that is. Anybody who's well-read or educated. Sudoku, the 11-year-old folding thousand. Her niece gave me that at the Enola Gay ceremony. Don't you think that'd be a major story? She started to cry. When the Prime Minister of Japan, at the time of Fukushima, who they railroaded out of town, walks up to you and says, Kevin Blanche, in Del Mar, California, with tears in his eyes, and bows to me and says, thank you. Don't you think that's a story of the Enola Gay hanger? Now, fuck me. Kettle me, I'll kettle you. So Sanjay Gupta says, well, this doctor, when I was an 11-year-old girl, and my friend died, and I found out that radiation's not bad, it's good. Oh, fuck you. By the way, I have radiation tattoos up me. I have 4 of them. Dr. Thompson at LDS ECA bone marrow transplant, the famous radiologist. My neighbor, who's a radiologist at the hospital, who worked on me, who was the first one to diagnose me, that did the radiology scan on me, she just died of cesium heart recently. She was young, Natalie. So I was his last patient. Very light radiation. My doctor doesn't really like radiation, but anyway, I found out radiation's good for you. Then they had this kid from Michigan. Oh, I went to Chernobyl. I had rheumatic fever. I was bed stricken in 1986 when it happened. I thought, oh, it's Godzilla. It's right. I went to Chernobyl. Everything's good. That kid ought to be locked up. He don't want to run into me, that punk motherfucker. Sanjay Gupta. I ran this by my uncles, who are, my family members who are famous fucking doctors. Really. And I says, did he break the law? Well, he sure broke the oath. Doctors here, all my doctors, Finball, Vincent, all of them, they're all over Fukushima. They all over it, They can't talk. HIPAA laws were passed. I mean, to keep the sheep in the fucking dark. So, Sanjay Gupta MD violated the oath, violated the fucking law, but it's all good for you, and then never switched. Talk about fucking derelicts. Talk about criminals. So I use this genre to hold retention. You used to Google Fukushima 19 to the 20 would be Kevin Blanch. The tide pool's Kevin Blanch. This genre, this art form that I use, that's what I was up to the whole time, but they figured out a way. They killed net neutrality. Your Lord and Savior, fucking Trump, who's just as bad as Obama, the fucking first. I'm at the White House when he got fucking. I'm at Mar-a-Lago when Abi's first one in. I'm there, at the Trump Towers one. I mean, Abi met with him fucking 18 times. He's dying of cancer. The IEA, I'm at Vienna. I talked to the fucking Inspector General. You go there, it's going to kill you. He dies of cancer after going to. It's all covered up, by cable TV. You're so caught up in Obamacans versus Trump. So let's get back to the disaster in Florida on the fucking gypsum. Now, I was a plasterer for years and years, and I'll give you a little. You go to my website, stuckodamage.com, that I was working on before I got cancer. I have 10,000 plaster jobs. So Portland cement, right here at Devil's Slide, Utah, which I grew up here, they cook it. They made Portland cement is the old adobe. Now we're finding out Portland cement is a disaster as far as road construction, whatever, because it gets harder. It only lasts for 100 years. It's starting to tear it. They're using electrical, trying to refit it. Portland cement is named after the Portland Islands off the coast of England by old brick mason in his kitchen. I think his name was Joseph Asman. He started cooking it on his stove at 6,000 degrees. Thus, he invented it. These kilns, what they use in it. So, Portland cement, this is the byproduct. This is what they make fertilizer. Well, where's the basic root derivative? The nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, the fucking waste. When they centrifuge, they take all this fucking uranium, they centrifuge it to make fucking a little bit. When they centrifuge it, and they'll tell you, it's just natural. Geraldine Thomas, Kathleen Higley, all these so-called, they're these nuclear whores, paid propagandist pieces are fucking lie. Oh, it's natural from the fuck it is. That's uranium-238. This is uranium-235. This is the most unnatural fucking nasty thing in the world. It's totally man-made. The Hulk, plutonium. They centrifuge it. They gas it. The gas that leaked in fucking North Carolina. They spin it. The fucking atoms start to fly together. They collide. They split. Well, there's a byproduct. They're called free radicals. I think it's ironing the fucking artist free radicals versus post-ignorant. I mean, whoa. Think about that dynamic. Whoa. Paid off. They're all bought off. Go against Kevin Blanch. Why is he in critical condition? Cancer cells are called free radicals. These free radicals clash together. There's byproducts. A whole bunch of them. One of them is plutonium. They take that byproduct and they fucking use it to fucking make cement. I've known this. Portland cement's a disaster. The old concrete that they use for. How did concrete get invented? Against the Greeks, take credit for the aquifers, how it was a guy in nature. He's like, volcano eruptions. Look at this. You could see geographically where this stuff is melted together. How did that happen? Heat. So he started experimenting, and the problem. It's like I was talking to a guy yesterday. He says, I can't get we need some soap in my. What are you talking about? That's called lime. Dehydrated fucking lime. That's the sticky. Thus, the greatest invention in human history till nuclearism, the nightmare, cement. It's and that's the byproduct. So it leaves It leaves the water slurry. Oh, it's radioactive as fucking, and it's not natural. It's not natural occurring to radon. It's not natural 238. It's 235, and it's deadly as fuck. So what are you going to do with it? Well, it's in Florida in ponds, and now the ponds have breached, and they're just dumping it out. Oh, it's low life, and it's not a fuck you, and it will kill you dead. Dead. That shit is so radioactive, they don't even know what the fuck is in it. It's not natural occurring. It's fucking completely 100% madman, and it's all the derivative of the nuclear energy crime syndicate. Let's just keep making more. Fukushima should have been the end. You know, we have a bill called Price-Anderson in 1957, which perpetuates this fucking lie. It's called the Immunity Act. They upped it in 2005. I fought the shit out of it. I fought in the war machine, and it falls into the war machine. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. They're still there to perpetuate the lie. Oh, let's call it Godzilla. Let's call it fucking Hulk, fucking Spider-Man. Oh, it's all fairy tale, 3 eyeballs. I drive by the 5 every day at San Laughing. Huh, what's that? I always called it Dolly Parton. They're going to give her a mass second. That's a nuclear reactor. Oh, isn't that science fiction? Homer Simpson, yeah! Oh, fuck you! That is the most obvious real thing in the world that killed the Pacific Ocean. So, you know, my grandkids who were born that year, they're all over me about, you know, they watched the documentary on the fucking fishing conspiracy fucking criminal. Oh, I'm like, oh, hell yes. Did the overfishing kill the tide pools? The tide pool expert, dead tide pool jumping, Bob Beamon fucking Blanche. Oh, I am the world, right? Those historic videos I have, I'm sick. I'm dying of cancer. I had a failed organ valve. I recently had open heart surgery. I had RCM squared experiment. When the doctor walks in your room and looks you right in the eyes, he says, "You're right, Kevin. It's de novo. It's radical. It's bad. You probably have 2 months to live. Get your affairs in order." Next doctor tells you the same thing. I go into the LDS East State bone marrow. I'm so Utah that's where my social media addresses used to come up there. Mike Lee kicks me off Medicaid while I'm in there after 5 years, after I forked over all my testing stuff. University could have paid for it. They blackballed me. The abuse, what I've been able to accomplish, I get by with my Nobel Prize on Balco. You know, it's incredible. Just think about the cover up the USS Reagan. I always thought that would be our break. After the judge ruled, it goes forward. The illegitimate Supreme Court again. What a clown circus. And Kavanaugh, the guy who cut his eye teeth on stealing the 2000 election. But let's, up and down, black as white. Who stole the election in fucking 2000? Oh, please, let's go back to the real theft one. It's like I had a business psychology professor. I was at Berkeley for a little while. Then I came back to Weber State when we were #1 school business in the country. If in a business relationship or a personal relationship, let's just use for reference a man and a woman, one continually cheating on the other. Yes, they catch him. I'm sorry. And it just keeps going on. Greenpeace, Sierra Club, fucking, we all live in the greenwashing me. Whose fault is it? Everybody, oh, God. Let's just use for reference a man and a woman. A man's cheating on the woman. Business partners, whatever. Oh, no. It's the person allowing it. Welcome to the fucking American fucking ranch. Becomes as natural as unleashing cattle onto the fucking Santa Barbara landscape. Becomes as natural as occupying a bird refuge. Whose fault is it? Let's call the 2000 election. I mean, up is down, black is white, fucking, this hypnotized fucking sheep. The one accusing the one of cheating is always the cheater. You know, CIA, NSA, fucking Afghanistan, fucking Iraq. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass. No, he didn't. Fucking lie. That's a total fucking lie. George W. Bush won the fucking. No, he didn't. Total fucking lie. We can go on. He could not tell a lie. He cut down that cherry tree. I saw some guy from South Korea. Did you Korea? Great hat, by the way. You're talking about propaganda in North Korea. I said, the only place that's more propaganda than fucking North Korea, it's fucking North America. You listen to the propaganda in Canada? Oh, Queen, oh, cat. How about in the United States? Fuck the shit we're shoved down our fucking throat daily, especially now. I mean, what about Fukushima? What about the cover-up of Fukushima? It's the biggest crime in human history. Dead tide pool jumping. So this byproduct that's breached in Florida is deadly as fuck. 1,200 years and a kill. My tide pool fucking work. My salmon work proves it. So there's a new isotope being discovered, which I named all this plutonium. You know I named it food. It's never happened before, never happened at Science, it never happened anywhere. My work proved, I called it new. Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered, they're fucking curious, alarmed. It's only one way. They all have their golden handcuffs on. Fucking their zenith of life is comfortability. Fucking hand out PhDs like toilet paper. First you hypothesize the knowledge. Fuck, they're lying on this. They're going to push this energy into the Pacific. It's the hottest substance fucking in history of mankind. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the Western United States. The Great Salt Lake. My spiral jetty videos prove this is a cube. My spiral jetty video. I was out there when they built the spiral jetty. Fucking, my grandpa, my family built it. Perfect level in 22. Cute. It's half empty. This heat bubble, the Fukushima fires. I says, when the atmosphere actually start catching fire, you're going to listen to Kevin Blanche? Whoa, oh, we think 13 arsonists went. The atmosphere, it's so toxic, this toxic soup, which I named Fukushima. You know, I use my soup. Where's your soup can? I predicted every fucking bit of this. It's fucking hot. It's the hottest thing in the world. Oh, 12, there. It's hot. Oh, is it hot? Hell of a way to boil a planet. They push this energy into the sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles of fucking way. We don't even know what the fuck it is. Livermore, California. I used to protest with, well, first against her, then with her. Yeah, Kamala Harris's mother. What? Livermore from India? She's a real Indian. That's what people from India are called, Indians. Not Native Americans, you know. There's another lie was shoved down her throat. The mass murder and slaughter is very real, what they did. Oh, the Great Pacific Genocide. They hired trolls and teams to go after me. The sun can give you cancer for 93. We're the melanoma fucking cancer capital of the world. We're at fucking, you know, right here where I live is fucking 4,500 feet. The sun shines 300 days a year, yet we don't have any solar. Why? Because of the fucking stupid, dumb, ignorant fucking people who elect ignorant, selfish leaders. You know, look at my interviews with the governor. Look at my interview with both governors. Look at my interview with, you know, all these different politicians. They haven't got a fucking clue. No wonder these lobbyists. I mean, I'm in the state houses fighting. It's Kevin Blanche versus. You think about the broad body of work that I've done. So I'm at Livermore protesting with Kamala Harris's mother, the epidemiologist. Yeah, she got cancer in 2009. She was, you know, one of them. Bringing star power to Earth, they tell you at Livermore. You know, there's so much money that flows in. They're so gross. It's the creepiest place in the fucking world. They brought star power to Earth. 3 of them? Probably 6. I reported this is 6. They push it into the Pacific Ocean. This is the hottest fucking substance. It's so fucking hot, the robots melt. I mean, it's been in the Pacific Ocean for a long time. The catastrophe that happened on the Russian Peninsula, which I named this Del Mar, Argentina syndrome, you know, China syndrome, you know, that's very real. I'm the first guy that reported this one into China syndrome. Del Mar, they burned through a long time ago. They're in the ocean. It's in the fucking ocean. The Russian Peninsula, the Russian Trench, which goes, people are so geographically illiterate, they don't realize that Fukushima, Japan is right next to the peninsula in Russia. You know, Bristol Bay. It's boiling the Pacific Ocean. It's cooked it. The tide pool. Did the overfishing collapse the tide pools? I tell my no, well, I don't know. It's all connected. I get it. The documentaries, I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it. My grandkids recommend it, and I know how smart those 2 are. Well, those 5. They're brilliant. And so, they're all over it. I mean, it's because we allowed it. We stood by and let fucking Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper, what a creep. Fucking Operation Foxconn, the insanity of Sean Hannity, fucking, they go down to the lowest common denominator, God gave gun, and the dumb fucking sheep are just going to fucking fall for it because they're that ignorant. They just go to the lowest common denominator and fucking, you know, simple hyperbole, which fucking works. You know, hate. Race? I'll show you fucking, you don't even know discrimination. You don't know discrimination. You think you do. Try being fucking indigenous, native. Try being a real true grassroots activist. I'll show you discrimination. What they've done to me. Wow. Be a cancer victim. I didn't get no stimulus. The only people, the most abused, hated people in the world are cancer survivors, given 2 months to live. I've done all this through the tide pools, that historic work, new isotopes being discovered. Fucking just the other day, this year, 500 becquerels per kilogram in fucking rockfish off the coast of Fukushima, Japan, caught now. The half-life of cesium-137 is only 20 years, so we know. That's only 5 times the background fucking. No, that's after they lowered it. And by the way, Marie Antoinette Obama, fucking dumb as a dirt clod. Dumb Bush, dumb. Obama, dumber. Fucking Trump, dumbest. I mean, I know people that were on the transition team with Obama to Trump, and they said when we went to Mar-a-Lago, we were scared to death that Trump was going to let the rabbit out of the bag on Fukushima because he'd been talking to Alex Jones. And Alex Jones only went into Fukushima to sell bunkers and fear. He doesn't say anything. He's a fraud. He's a paid CIA fraud. They all are. Fucking con. Everybody took the fucking dime, not me. Fuck you. You know. I mean, it's unbelievable how the fucking country's gone along with these fucking earth, and there's no consequence. None. You know, this breach that's going on, oh, it's natural occurring radar. It's natural fucking, I hear it all the time from Professor. The root of nuclear energy is natural green. It's the dirtiest, filthiest, it's thousands of times dirtier than coal. Millions times dirtier than coal. Fuck, it's the most filthy, disgusting, it's the greatest lie I could not cut down. I could not tell a lie. I cut down that cherry tree. Abner Doubleday invented baseball. Oh, the peach basket from Canada. Fuck, natives play basketball in this fucking landscape for thousands of fucking years. It's all a fucking lie. The greatest lie is nuclear energy. Fukushima should have been the end. It's the greatest event in human history. My work. The salmon go to sea for 5 years on average, the Chinook salmon. They go up to 8. Everybody's arguing with me on, we got record returns. They had record, look it up on the Columbia. Record returns. 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. Based on record escapement. I'm like, watch this. Not dams. Fuck the biggest hatchery in the world on the J. Smith. There's no dams. They're dying at sea. Took them fucking 8 years to come out of denial about that. The only marine biologist in the world, Kevin White's in the high desert of Utah, jumping through the tide pools. Historic low tides, up and down, the best tide pools in the world. Monterey, PB Point, Point fucking Loma, fucking all of them. I'm in them. I'm in them at the lowest fucking, some of them in the lowest in 100 years. You know, well, I'm full of cancer with no money, sleeping in a sleeping bag on the beach. Fucking historic. Those videos are so fucking good. It's unarguable fucking visual proof. Hundreds of hours of them. They're right there online in front of God and everybody to see. But no, fuck. Well, I'm a critical condition with no money. Attacked by they hired trolls to attack me. Felonies in all 50 states. I was in critical condition the whole fucking time for years. Go ask the fucking doctors. AML de novo, chemo. I had open heart surgery recently. My gallbladder fucking went. Hail Mary. My doctor walks in. I'll never forget it. He says, "Well, Kevin, you know we don't take 51-year-olds in this exclusive unit, LDSE state bone marrow, something rotten in Denmark." He says, "But you know." Your family, well, Vincent recommended, he's known you since a kid. He says, you're tough, you're a fighter, you're anti-nuclear like him, like me. We can't lose you. He says, I'm going in on you. We're going to save you. Don't you die on me. I says, the chances of surviving this are pretty well zero, but I think you got a chance. You're one of those. You're a rare one. That's coming from him. I mean, the bone bar actually digging my hip, I've had 13 of those. They fucking stuff. Inside that unit is so fucking vicious you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know what I've been through in 10 years. Put me on, you don't want to know. King of Pain. I can buy you 2-3 years with traditional fucking chemo medicine, or I can experiment. I have an idea. It's a long shot. But if it works, you might live to be an old man. Or I can guarantee you probably 2-3 years of life with this. Without hesitation. All in! We're knowing the 1% survival is the two common denominators. One, people that fight back. Fight back in a logical, good numbers. Fight back. Risk takers. Boy, did I take risks in those tide pools. Fuck, I look back at that. I fell and cracked my head. I woke up with blood coming out of my mouth that morning and on the beach in a sleeping bag. It's not fucking natural. It's all man-made hell. And whose fault is it? The American populace. You should buy and let them. And I don't believe in violence. It's wrong. That whole fucking manufactured bullshit at the fucking Capitol. What a crock of shit. Why Trump's eating caviar with his feet up while you're all going to prison. He calls them useful idiots. Vladimir Lenin fucking invented that term, the useful idiots, the capitalistic growth. Give them enough lower. Fuck, they'll hang. Remember when we rejected all that fucking bloodlines monarchy stuff? What happened? Oh, they're back. How do they do it? One by Jetstream, two by cable TV. Operation Foxconn News. Billionaire baseball players. In 1978, fucking the average Dick Mott, who I know, won it with them bullets. The average NBA player, the average Major League player made less than fucking 3 times the average working class American. Whoop! Now it's royalty. You can win the lottery. You could be the next Cinderella. You're going to be next CEO. You can be the next King James. Where's your fucking crown? This shit kills billionaires, too. The great equalizer, Fukushima. The breach, the byproduct, Portland cement's a disaster. I fucking wrote paper after paper after paper. I own stuccodamage.com, and I put it out for free, but I've learned my lesson. People don't fucking give back. It's a one-way street in this fucking country. For fucking, I give myself, and I give. On a bed of nails, you've made me wait. My fucking body bruised, my hands are tied. I got nothing to win and nothing left to fucking lose. I was all in. What timing. But look what they've done to me. My own government, who murdered my father, nuked to death in a Nevada test, drafted. That beautiful, watched him die. Annika. I painted that in 94. What? I added that. Plume. By the way, Plumegate, there's been a lot of people talking about that. Patrick Henry Patrick in Florida. That was Jan, Miss Mookie the Clown. That was Shane Russell, Marina Burke, the famous FOIA document, and Kevin Blanch. That's all FOIA documents. We're the ones that did that and put that out. Of course, they threatened us all. I mean, literally threatened people. Then they went, and a lot of the YouTube vloggers and bloggers like Dutch said, so it's a fraud. What was the Colbert Report? All those Goddard Report, or whenever the Great Pacific, they paid them, and then they promoted their YouTube site to the moon because they got control. The Great Equalizer, YouTube, want to buy Jetstream? Let's read a bedtime. Fucking, go spray some Roundup from the byproduct, from the uranium, from the nuclear industry. Go spray some on your lawn. Like my granddaughter says, Grandpa, if you talk more about pets, people care more about their animals, their friendships. Slaves, I call them, than they do people. Yeah, I get that. Well, I like pets better than people. They're a lot nicer. I understand that. Do you know there's a acute radical post-Fukushima collapse in pets? It's radical. In science, mystified, baffled, stumped, perplexes, doesn't get it. What I do. First you hypothesize knowledge, then you do the field work, then you defend your fucking work. Talk about defend my work against a tsunami of ignorance. Acute radical collapse in pets post-Fukushima. Longevity, you add it all together. The geoengineering, the fucking... Oh, hell below us, above us only chemtrailed fucking skies. You add all this soup together, finally the death knell. Fukushima, nuclear fucking disaster. It never happened, which I call Fuktonium, soup. Play back the tape. Play back the tape. I predicted every bit of this. Every fucking bit of this. That's my old house. They took that. They took that. They took everything from me. Now I'm trying to save the world. It's not natural occurrence, it's all man-made, and it's a fucking death sentence to you in Florida. Just dump it, just keep going. And the American populace, we all live in a greenwashing machine. The NFL's a fucking NGO. Come on. They changed the tax code, and everybody's going to be on the one team. Oh, God, don't spill the Fukushima. God, you just spilled it. You just spilled it.